What up, everybody? This is your boy Blak Magus, and I had alluded to this in the video about the indies, so I guess I'll just go ahead and just do this now while I'm in the mood to record, so you guys can get some content on this channel. And hopefully I won't disappear for a long time, which I'll address in a separate video. I said I wasn't going to talk long about it and just recant it, but I feel like I owe you guys another explanation, because that's just the type of person I am. Accountability is something that I'm trying to get better on when it comes to me and things in my life. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That was already a wasted 30 seconds on that shit. Let's talk about the Game Awards, which is December 11th this year, or the Keeglies, as I always like to call them. And I think I've done a video on this every year for the past 4, maybe 5 years, so might as well keep tradition going. Now, I'm going to talk about the nominees, but I'm going to do it backwards. That way it'll help me out, because while I'm still in tune to gaming, I'm not as in tune as I used to be. So it helped to go from the back, to the front, pause, because the later categories are the ones that I would definitely have the least familiarity with. Such as, we begin with the best esports team. I am not a big esports person. I don't watch competitive gaming. Rarely I'll peep into, some fighting game competitions. Maybe a second or two of a Fortnite thing if it pops up on my Twitch home screen, but yeah, I'm not big into competitive games. But nominees for best esport team, you got Gen G for League of Legends, NRG Valorant, Team Falcons Dota 2, Team Liquid PH, Mobile Legends Bang Bang. That's a crazy name. I have to look up that game. I have no idea what the fuck that is. Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Funny. And Team Vitality for Counter-Strike 2. All I have to say is good luck to all of those, and a pre-congratulations to the winner. Next, best esport athlete. Brock. What? Okay, so his name is Brock, I'm assuming. B-R-O-C-K. But his tag is Brock, B-R-A-W-K. Okay. But anyway, Brock Summerholder for Valorant. Chovy, Jeongji-hoon for League of Legends. Apologies for butchering your name. Forsaken, Jason Sasanto for Valorant. Kakuru Watanabe for Street Fighter. Again, forgive me for butchering names. By the way, they ever given their full names before? Their actual government names before? So usually they just put their tags. They didn't recognize their real names. I think that's kind of cool that they're recognizing their real names in this. Menard Saul Leonardo for Street Fighter, and Ziwu Matha Herbo, and again, apologies for butchering your name, for Counter-Strike 2. Again, don't know much about you guys, and apologies for the name butchering, but good luck to you guys. Best esport game. You have Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Again, I have to look that up. I'm assuming it's like a mobile version of League of Legends. And then Valorant. Pretty much usual suspects, I think. Hasn't been that much of an expanse in the mobile the esport game category, I don't think. I think if anything, you would have had some swapped out with some other tried and true things, like if Call of Duty was as big as it was, or Street Fighter or something like that. But yeah, again, hey, it is what it is. I'm not a big esports person, so hey, don't impact me that much. Content creator of the year. Here's some place where I'm gonna feel very lost as I've gotten older and have kind of separated myself from the content creating space more than I've ever been since I started doing YouTube. So you got Cadrol, Katsanat, Moist Critical, that's a strange name, Sakura Miku, who I think I might have heard about. Isn't that VTuber? Like, there's been a lot of VTubers coming up. Like, that's a interesting phenomenon that I've not gotten into. And I guess another one here, the Burnt Peanut. Those are the nominations. Be quite honestly, other than Miko, Burnt Peanut, Katsanat, which I know in name, but I'm not familiar with. Not familiar with the others. Again, the space that I've drawn away from. So, none of these young people I'm super familiar with. Katsanat, you probably know the same way I do, is that he's always being shown everywhere with celebrities. So, yeah. But good luck to these people in that category. Most anticipated game. You have 007 First Light, Grand Theft Auto 6, Marvel's Wolverine, Resident Evil, Requiem, and The Witcher 4. Magus is definitely Wolverine. After that, it's funny. People complained about how you haven't seen anything about Wolverine. They haven't talked about Wolverine. What is Sony doing? Blah, blah, blah. That little taste that they gave us, man. They threw a drop of blood into the shark pool. And I don't know about y'all, but yeah, I'm in a frenzy. That's all it took for me. I'm sold. Grand Theft Auto 6, I'm sure a lot of people are still hyped about. Y'all upset because they keep pushing it back, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be another Grand Theft Auto game, y'all. At least in my mind, that's it. If I had to pick anything other than Wolverine, it would probably be 007 First Light, because I'm curious to see how well they do with it. It's going to have the Hitman elements in it. So I'm going to see how that first person story goes. Having played some Hitman campaigns, they're okay. But I don't know if they work well for full games. I feel like when they started doing the Hitman World stuff and just doing the different missions, that works a lot better for Hitman. It doesn't. It's just the gameplay, because that's what you like. You like figuring out these scenarios. It's a puzzle game, if people don't recognize that, at least in my mind. Hitman is a third person puzzle action game, because you're trying to figure out how the best way to solve this, and it's fantastic. But with the James Bond game, you're gonna have to be more story orientated, I think. So I'm curious to see how that works out. But Wolverine would be my pick for this, hands down. Yeah, this shit looks amazing, and I cannot fucking wait. Alright, best adaptation. Recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. Okay, so this is basically the TV shows. I have a Minecraft movie. I don't know why that's there. I guess probably because it was popular. I heard it wasn't a good movie, but I know kids raved over it. Devil May Cry, solid cartoon. I haven't watched Splinter Cell Death Watch yet. I need to watch that. The Last of Us Season 2, yeah, it's the same story as the game, but they do a great job of translating that on the screen. I can't, deny that fact. Until Dawn, which I heard wasn't that good of a movie either. But I guess they just need to fill out the category. And since, you know, season 2 of Fallout ain't out, they need something else to put. What else could they put there? There's nothing else, because the other game related show, I forget the name of the cartoon, it ended. Yeah, I guess this is all they have for this category. It'll probably be The Last of Us 2, knowing how I know how the Keighley's go. But it wouldn't surprise me either if it was Minecraft, because of the popularity of it. Alright, best multiplayer. You have Arc Raiders, which has come out and taken people by storm. Battlefield 6. My pick, because, if they could separate Red Set too, that would be interesting to see what people pick. I think people would pick Red Set, because I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I feel some type of way about the fact that I spent $70+ after tax purchasing Battlefield 6 because I'm a Battlefield, guy. And the thing that I have the most time in, like, I don't get to play as often as I like, but in the time count, I think I have 42 hours in Red Set since the Red Set came out. But the regular game, I think cumulatively, like the purchase version, I might got 11. Like, Gauntlet has fucking taken my life over. I love that shit. Anyway, Elden Ring, Night Rain, Peak, and Split Fiction, which me and my homegirl need to play. I'm mad that she bought that and we get to play that game. I hear it's a pretty cool game. I want to play it, but of course Battlefield would be my pick. But Battlefield kind of like got a cheat code to it, in my opinion. Like, I know Ark is very, very popular. It'll probably be Ark, but if Battlefield wins, I feel like it will win because they dropped the cheat code a couple of weeks in with the Red Set thing, where I come in with the Battle Royale mode, and in particular Gauntlet. Gauntlet to me, phenomenal. Like, that stroke of genius to me. That shit is fire. If you haven't played Battlefield Red Set, it's free, by the way. That's why I was saying I feel some type of way that I fucking bought the game, and it's like the free to play portion of the game is where it's at for me. But it's free, so get Battlefield Red Set, play that shit, play Gauntlet, you'll love it. It's just hella fun. But yeah, I think Ark's gonna probably win it because Ark has really taken over people's minds. I can't think of a game I see more people playing right now. Best esports racing. It's crazy. Best esports. I mean, not best esports. I said best esports. Best sports and racing. Kind of funny how this is like kind of become a like lesser category in gaming. People still do the traditional, I'm gonna play my Madden, I'm gonna play my NBA 2K, what have you, but I think the luster and the lore behind sports gaming has diminished quite a bit. I think people do it because they just enjoy playing the sports. Like, I enjoy the quality in playing MLB, the show, but like stuff like what's on this list, with the exception of one game, I don't think carries the weight that it used to. So the nominees are EA Sports FC 26, F1 25, Mario Kart World, which is the game that I mentioned, like carries the weight that it used to. Everybody will drop what they're doing for Mario Kart, I feel like. Rematch, and then Sonic Racing Crossword Racing. The Sonic Racing like games, low key, are just fire as fuck and deserve a lot more recognition than they get. But out of this, probably gonna give it to Mario Kart World. As when, although no rematch for a minute had like a little bit of buzz when it first dropped. Best Sim Strategy: Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles, Jurassic World Evolution 3, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, which a nerd like me would love, but not as much as one of the other games. Tempest Rising, The Altars, and the game that I was saying that I would love more would be 2 Point Museum. Love the 2 Point games. I've yet to play 2 Point Museum, but I bought it. And I'm excited, especially if you know me and you know what I do for a living. You know 2 Point Museum talks to me in a way that no other video game can talk to me right now. Seriously. So, I hope that wins, but it'll probably be Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles. Let's see. Best Family Game. You have Donkey Kong Bonanza, which was a huge hit. Lego Party, which is currently a huge hit. Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, which I say Mario Kart World will be the one to win the sports and racing, but given what the conversation has been around it, or had been around it when it came out, it's not the best Mario Kart game. It kind of wasn't up to par with a lot of people as other Mario Karts have been. So it'll be curious to see where this falls in the race. Sonic Racing, Cross Worlds, and Split Fiction. I'm leaning Donkey Kong, but I won't be surprised if Lego Party wins because I've heard a lot of great things about Lego Party. Might have to pick that up. Best Fighting. You have 2XKO. You have Capcom's Fighting Collection 2, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and Virtual Fighter 5 REVO World Stage. Haven't really kept up with the fighting games, although I've heard great things about the Mortal Kombat Collection, but not from the gaming aspect necessarily. They say the documentary that is included with it is well worth a watch. I don't know if that's available separately. If it's available separately, I might look that up. But good luck to these games. I can't give a winner because I'm not invested in the fighting scene like that. Not like I was when I was a kid. Best RPG. Avowed, Clear Obscure, Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, The Outer Worlds 2. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Outside of Avowed, I have not heard much talked about any of these games in comparison to Clear Obscure. Clear Obscure came in and just fucking wowed the whole entire world. And the fact that it has the most nominees of any game ever in the Game Awards says something. Like, well, one says that Jeff Keighley must really love that game. Like, on a level that's, I won't say close to, but that's Kojima-ish, we shall say. And if you know what I mean, like, if you know about Jeff Keighley and his love for Hideo Kojima, saying that is a significant thing. But yeah, this game has gotten a lot of accolades, and you might see like a lot of people get disappointed that their favorite game gets blocked out by this, because I know a lot of people like the Vow. Again, the other games, they haven't really got that much of a buzz in comparison to these two. So if Avowed knocks it off, that'll be crazy. That'll be crazy upset, even though it's gotten lots of love. But just about anything that Clear Obscure is in, it'll probably win, I feel like, this year. I just feel like people were just like that much head over heels for that game. Best Action Adventure. Speaking of Kojima, Death Stranded 2 on the beach. To be fair, I've heard people say there's a much better improvement over the first, and people seem to enjoy it a lot. I think now that they know the fuckery to expect from it, I think people have like embraced it in a way that they didn't embrace the first one. Ghost of Your Tie, which, yo, how fucked up is it for Sucker Punch to come out with a, sequel to a highly, praised game, and come up with a game that, if we're going to be honest, it reviewed very well and got its praise, but that praise was muted by so many other games. In fact, I would say part of it, the thing that muted it would be a game like Hollow Knight, Silksong, which is also a nominee. And then you have the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which again, it's crazy how that game, too, I've heard great things about it, but it's not as celebrated as it might have could been in another year, because low-key, this has been a fucking phenomenal year for game releases. I know a lot of people like to say gaming is dead, but those are people who, one, have a hard time coming up with anything creatively when it comes to content creating. Just regurgitate the same old argument. Two, who aren't really as invested in games as they like to make you think. It's like, as far as the world, like, even as someone who don't play games like I used to, I'm still, in tune enough to know, like, hey, there's a lot of good stuff to play out there. It's not as poor as you guys like to always say every year. Like, I don't get it. I never got that attitude. Hey, that's just me. The last game in this category is Split Fiction. Best action adventure. It probably will be Hollow Knight. Wouldn't shock the world if he gave Kojima the award for Death Stranding. Just told like he strong arms people to picking that. But this is actually a very well-rounded category, because there's some very good games. Like, I don't see a bad game in this bunch from what I've understand, what I've heard. So yeah, very strong category. Be interested to see who wins. See, best action game. You have Battlefield 6, Doom: The Dark Ages, which, again, another game that I don't think was necessarily seen as bad, but just didn't get the buzz that people thought. I think Hades 2 as well didn't get as much buzz as the first one did, but I hear it's a better game than the first one. Ninja Gaiden 4 and Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Ooh, and another tough category. Like, these are all probably solid games to choose from. So, like, yeah, it'll be interesting to see who wins this one as well. I can't call it here either. Best VR AR game. I don't know if they've had this before, but it's cool that we've gotten to a point where there's enough stuff where they feel the need to put this category. And we have Alien Rogue Incursion, Arkham Age, Ghost Town, Marvel's Deadpool VR, The Midnight Walk. I'm not someone who's into the VR space, so I can't speculate on this one. Good luck to these games. Best mobile game, Destiny Rising. It's got a lot of buzz. A lot of people were playing that shit. Sonic 5, The Phantom X, Sonic Rumble, Uma Musume. Sorry, took me a while to get it together. Uma Musume, Pretty Derby. That game, that game's gonna win. We'll circle back to that in Wuthering Waves. Uma Musume is gonna win because that's the horse girl game, right? People were obsessed with that horse girl game, and let me just make sure that I'm not tripping. Yeah, it is. Yo, motherfuckers were deep into that shit. Crazy deep into playing that game. Some of y'all are crazy. Some of y'all are freaks. Some of y'all probably need to seek some therapy. Clearly. No, but I hear it's actually a fun game to play. I would know, but hey, that's probably going to be the winner. And it'll be interesting to see if Keeley struggles the way I do. He won't. He won't. He won't struggle in pronunciation. Anyway. Best debut indie game. A game which I did a video about because an interesting question came up regarding it. And it may be kind of unfair that this is in this category. So, best debut indie game is Blueprints, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Despolote, and Dispatch. Dispatch should win. Clair Obscur probably will. I said Clair Elise. It's not Beethoven. Anyway, that is Beethoven. Now I'm questioning whether or not I got the artist who made that song. Forget it. Let's just go back to the gaming thing. Clair Obscur probably will win because of its popularity. Dispatch probably should win this for this category. But, it's being unfairly matched, in my opinion, to Clair Obscur. Best independent game. Absalom, Ball Pit, Blueprints, again, Clair Obscur, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight. Why is it Dispatching this? It's in best debut, but it's not in this. Interesting. Anyway, Clair Obscur probably is going to take this one too, although it probably should be Hollow Knight. But hey, again, this game, it will be interesting to see how many awards Clair Obscur actually wins, as opposed in comparison to how many games it was nominated for. Best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky. In my mind, by default, No Man's Sky should always win this because that game got fucking hammered when it first came out. But these people just kept plugging away. To build it into the game and the community it is now, it should be celebrated on a year-on-year basis, in my opinion. Outside of that, it'll probably be Fortnite because they're the most visible community. But you can't go wrong with any of these games, I don't think, as the winner. Best ongoing. So you have Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, No Man's Sky. I feel like this is just a weird cop-out thing because, like, you can throw so many games up here as best on. Like, you can put World of Warcraft, you can put, Dota 2, you can put StarCraft 2, for the online play that people still do. But that's, like, it's a weird category to me. I don't really care about this. I don't know why it's a category, to be quite honest. Games for Impact. So these, for those who don't know what Games for Impact is, for a thought-provoking game with pro-social meaning or message. You have Consume Me, Despolote, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, South of Midnight, Wonder Stop. My heart says South of Midnight should, but I definitely have a bias. I have no problem with whoever wins because games that make you think, games that make you feel, games that teach, all of those are important and needed, and all of them should be celebrated for being those types of games. Like for having something that is just beyond just a regular, storytelling narrative, but something that deals with social issues, that deals with emotions, deals with problems that we as people deal with every day. I think it's really cool that gaming can be a medium for people to interact with that thing and learn with it, or find a safe space in, like have their, because some of these things are, you know, pretty much all of these things are stories that are being told based on someone's experiences in life, and they can reflect other people's experiences in life. To be able to see somebody who gets what you're going through or what you've gone through, you know, in this way, I think it's very, very cool. So yeah. Innovation and accessibility. Again, another good category. Basically, recognizing software and or hardware that's pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience, like people with physical disabilities, mental disabilities, you know, certain things, you know, colorblindness, all that stuff. Again, it's great that this is the thing that's being pushed and being celebrated to me. So you have Assassin's Creed Shadows. Why is that so hard to say? Adamfall, Doom: The Dark Ages, EA Sports FC 26, and South of Midnight. Best performance, basically best, you know, motion and or, you know, voice acting. Ben Starr, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. Charlie Cox, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. I didn't know until recently that Charlie Cox was one of the characters in Claire Obscure. That came out of nowhere for me. Erika Ishii, Ghost of Yotai, Jennifer English, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. Konatsu Kato for Silent Hill F, and Troy Baker for Indiana Jones. Troy Baker probably should, because even Harrison Ford was impressed by his emulation of his voice. Yeah, he probably should win, but it'll probably be one of the Claire Obscure people. Again, that game's gonna probably dominate most of, if not all, the characters. In fact, I am going to say it's going to be Charlie Cox, if anything, for name recognition. Goddamn, I did not know he was in that game. Damn, it's just crazy. Like, I didn't until recently. I didn't know, I should say. But yeah, if you don't know who Charlie Cox is, go watch Daredevil. He's great in it. Best audio design: Battlefield 6, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Ghost of Yotai, Silent Hill F. Hands down, it should be Battlefield. That game is traumatizing with its sound. That's how good the fucking sound effects are in that game. If you got a decent headset, put that shit on, play fucking Battlefield. The shit is an audio masterpiece. Like, the fucking shit is like, it's crazy. The sounds and just like, it's just like, it's a very visceral weight to the sound of that game. I'm sorry, like, it's brutal. It's brutal to the senses. You know, which, you know, hey, hats off to y'all. Woo! Them headshots, I swear. Best score in music for outstanding music inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. You have Christopher Larkin, Hollow Knight, Silk Song, Darren Korb, Hades 2, Lorian Testar, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, Toma Ottawa, Ghost of Yotai, Woodkid, and Ludwig Forsell for Death Stranding 2, On the Beach. I'm a Darren Korb fan. His music is amazing, so that's what steps out to me. I think Claire Elise. You said Claire Elise. Stop it. Claire Obscure will probably win it, because like I said, I feel like it's gonna dominate most of the characters. Best art direction, another one for Claire Obscure. Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Ghost of Yotai, Hades 2, Hollow Knight, Silk Song. Claire is gonna get it again. Pause. Best narrative. Yo, why did Cameron and Bass bring that shit back and make it in vogue again to be like pause? God damn it. God, we were so juvenile in the 90s and the back to being juvenile again. Anyway, best narrative: Clear Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Ghost of Yotai, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Silent Hill F. Again, I think Claire's gonna win it. Best Game Direction. Guess who? Clear Obscure Expedition 33. Also, guess who? Death Stranding 2, On the Beach. Yo, as much as we celebrating or debating or hating on the fact that Clear Obscure has so many nominations, we gotta talk about the fact that Death Stranding has gotten so many nominations on the low key. I think we've all been like distracted by the fact that this man has put Kojima on the highest pedestal I've ever seen him do in a gaming awards. That's not been a personal like jerk-off session when he's introducing Kojima to come out and say something during the game, or introduce a Kojima clip or something like that. Yo, this game's got a lot of like nominations for a game that, well, again, I have heard that it is a much better experience than the first. I don't think it's outrated a lot of games that aren't getting recognition, like some of the stuff that I mentioned before that like see being talked about much, like Donkey Kong. What the fuck? That's crazy. So yeah, you have Clear Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotai, Hades, and Split Fiction. That's wild. This man is really throwing all the flowers to Kojima. And he's seriously throwing flowers because Game of the Year, again, Clear Obscure, but again, Death Stranding 2. What the fuck? Yo, what is it? You like, man, fuck it. I've been waiting to give this guy as many awards as possible and have him come up and do many concession speeches. Not concessions, but acceptance speeches as possible. I don't get enough like me time with Kojima on stage. I need this to happen. The fuck? Even though, again, Clear Obscure is going to win it. Sorry about the other games that I'm ignoring because of this Death Stranding thing. It's wild. Anyway, Clear Obscure, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is a game that a lot of people were saying is probably going to be Game of the Year, and then that quieted down really quick. Hades 2, Hollow Knight, Silksong, Kingdom Come Deliverance. So that is all the nominees. Definitely a solid year. You got some really good games. There are probably some games that have not been, included, but still solid year for gaming. Again, I don't understand people who always like to say there's nothing to play. Always something to play. There may not be as much as there are in some other years, but I feel like this is one of those years where you got a lot of goddamn games to play. Especially if you are somebody who would open their mind and look at these indie games. Like, the indie game categories alone are games that you can carry a year off. Like stuff like Wall Pit, Clear Obscure, Hades 2, Hollow Knight, Dispatch. Yeah. Those are really good titles. But, I mean, hey. It is what it is. People are gonna still, there's nothing to play, there's no gaming, blah 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 blah. All that shit, yeah, whatever. Anywho, that is it for this video. I know it's a very long video. Thank you for everybody who hung in this long to listen to this old man rant about these games. December 11th, I will be around to watch the Game Awards. What day is December 11th on? Now that I think of it. Let's look at the calendar, shall we? Let me grab my phone really quick and check out. It's usually It's usually an off day too, like a Thursday or Friday. Like, what the fuck you be doing, Keely? Like, what is you doing with your life that you think people want to stay up on that day? Like, you could do it on a weekend day and make it better. Maybe you're just scared of matching up. Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, so you're gonna get like a 4 or 5 hour show on Thursday. All the, sorry for hitting the mic. With all the trailers and things like that. Not sure what we expect to see trailers wise, but there'll be some interesting, good trailers. This is on my calendar. Oh shit! Sorry, y'all. I got distracted by something that was on my calendar. But yeah, so we'll be locked in for that Thursday, and we'll watch that shit. Yeah. But anywho, that's it for this video. Again, thank you for those who hung in, watched me, listened to me wax poetic about this stuff. Let me know what your picks are, what games you enjoy this year, and we'll see you next time. Alright, so as always, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll hit you later. It's your boy Blak, making them out. Deuces.